I'm thrilled to be introducing Tsoknyi Rinpoche, who's, for one thing, an old friend and also my teacher. I met Tsoknyi Rinpoche the very first day he came to the USA and have gotten to know him personally since then. I'm honored to be writing a book with him right now with the help of Adam Kane, his able translator, who will also be helping us out over this session. And let me tell you a little bit about Tsoknyi Rinpoche if you're not familiar with him. For one, he was born in a very remote part of Nepal, a village called Nubri, but to a very illustrious spiritual family. His father, Togo Urgyen Rinpoche, was one of the great spiritual masters of old Tibet, who came out of Tibet and lived in Nepal. And Rinpoche, even though he comes from such a remote setting, is unique, I think, in his ability to translate the traditional Tibetan teachings for the modern world. And we're going to experience part of that today. I also would like to recommend to anyone who wants to explore his teachings more deeply, a Fully Being, which is an online course that Rinpoche teaches. And it goes into what we're going to experience in far more depth. But for today, what I'd like to ask Rinpoche to do is introduce us to what he calls the handshake practice. It's a practice that helps us work with our emotional patterns. I should also mention that over the years, Rinpoche and my wife Tara and I have engaged in many hours of discussion about scientific findings, and also she's a psychotherapist about the emotional patterns that particularly plague people in the modern world. Rinpoche has taken that information along with lots of other information that he's gained by just teaching many Westerners and many people in modern parts of the world, and integrated that into his own unique synthesis of traditional Tibetan practice for the modern world. So Rinpoche, that said, can I ask you please to explain to us the context, the background for the practice you're going to be teaching us? You know, you call it the handshake practice, but it comes out of your understanding of how to work with emotional patterns, what you call, I love the term, beautiful monsters. They're monsters because we're in their grip, but they can be beautiful if we work with them. And handshake practice is certainly a way to do that. So Rinpoche, please.
Dan, thank you. Handshake practice develops because of the connection between the cognitive mind and the feeling world, especially emotional area, that we have to have a very good relationship in the form of kindness, not such like a telling something to the feeling. And time is different now than before. We gather so much information, understanding from our knowledge, our cognitive mind, and we push into our feeling world and trying to change our feeling without really listening our feeling, without really being in our stuck area. So this is that our mind, the drop all the thinking mind, just invite knowing mind and the awareness, fully aware of whatever happening in the physical body, in the emotional body, in the whatever happening in your being, especially around the feeling area, fully aware, fully noticed, and just stay in that feeling without judging at all. The mind is fully aware of your feelings. There could be beautiful feeling, could be disturbed kind of feeling, or sometimes I should usually call the difficult part of the feeling, which I call beautiful monster, and listen and be with that, and with the form of non-judging. And I call this is a kindness kind of meditation, because normally when you have some disturbed, difficult emotion, we're trying to change, or we're trying to push, or we're trying to ignore, or we're trying to bring some remedy that you are not okay and I'm going to fix you. Then you or me, we all be okay. And this okayness trying to bring from outside to impose into our well-being, and that is artificial. We don't need that. Any beautiful, any difficult stuff, whatever, there's an intrinsic nature of well-being. Because even the beautiful monsters has is nature, is clarity and openness, and in subject to change is impermanent. So we are not disturbing them. We're just allowing it to open by itself. But we are unable to do that because we want to do something. We want to change something. We want to improve something. All of that is too much for our emotional blockage, because our emotional blockage is enough of information, enough of knowledge, enough of so many things. I don't want to hear anymore. I know, but I cannot do it. Why? Is a lack of love. Here, love comes, is just being. You fully be with your beautiful, I call beautiful monster, or sometimes I call the leftover imprint become blockage in our emotion world. Sorry. And aware of that. And there's 4 principles. Not suppressing is also kindness. Not ignoring and going somewhere else, also not kindness. And not trying to change something, because it has own ability to open up. So all of that, not bringing some extra method to change. So if you stay there with a full open heart, and then I call this whole practice is called grounded meditation, open heart, and clear mind. If these 3 things come together, then the beautiful monster start to open up, and then we have so much knowledge, because we know what is the monster. At the same time, we know what is the beautiful side. Everything has 2 sides. So we transform the difficult part, but we know what is the monster, and that monster start to shine in our life as a beautifully. So this is whole thing is not so much like a what do you call a subject and object in doing something. It's more like welcoming and fully aware and fully noticed, and the whole thing is being in the feeling, being in the raw feeling of whatever it is, and I'm okay with that. And I would like to have okayness within that not okay. It's not, I'm not going to bring okayness from outside impose into you, and then you transform, you smash, and you out, and then the I am the okayness because I brought okayness from somewhere else. No, there is okayness within ourselves, and we block that. So you stay in that, I call raw phenomena, or raw perception. Raw in the sense of not on in the process. It's just a raw feeling of sadness, raw feeling of anger, raw feeling of unworthiness, raw feeling of hollow. Just hug that, be with that raw, and then that open up. by itself is natural, then there is okayness. And that okayness is very precious to me. I call open heart. And that I give a name called essence love. Just essence of love, ready to love, ready to shine. Just opening the flower and nurture that without uncontrived. Just aware and be with that. And that slowly express as a loving kindness, compassion. So that is I call open heart. And then slowly there's less cloudy in our mind. So there is a clarity dawns in. Not clarity based on thinking. It's just natural, innate kind of clarity. A sense of awakening. Just the dawn in the morning. Just everything within the just slowly clear, 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 and clear. It's not something coming. It's just waking up. So when we have a relaxed body, grounded body, open heart with essence love, slowly, the mind become more clear, without thought, without doing something by itself. And then you're aware of that clarity. And that is the basis of all the Buddhist practice. Whether you practice, this is the basis of all the meditation. Without these three things, grounded body, open heart, clear mind, there's nowhere that we can practice shamatha or vipassana or bodhicitta or emptiness, because we are sort of lost into this phenomena. Sorry, I know I'm talking too long, so I got a little bit excited. Okay, so next I think we do a practice together. Okay, first step is grounded body. So usually a mind, I make it very simple way. Mind expresses in the four ways: simple knowing, then thinking mind, and then aware, self-awareness mind, and then basic clarity or lucidity of the mind. So here we are dropping something, the thinking mind, and we are not dropping the clarity mind, we are not dropping the awareness, we are not dropping the knowing mind, just thinking mind for a while. We can bring back again, of course. So this is called dropping first. So, okay, long breathe in and then out. Just drop your thinking mind into the body. Just noticed and aware of your body. Just raw feeling of your body. The gravity, the groundedness, the earthy feeling, the solidity, the form. Just feel that. The groundedness, the secure kind of feeling. Like a beautiful mountain. Stand by itself. Feel that. And relax with that. Aware that. Within this, any type of feelings, sensations, emotions, core, basic feelings. Just as much you can, aware of those feelings. Any feeling, if you can feel, is precious. If you cannot feel the feeling, then that is a kind of feeling of no feeling, and you are feeling that. That's also okay. Maybe some old leftover feelings, blockages, some beautiful kind of monster feelings, sadness, grief, lost. Just feel that. Be kind to that. Kind in the form of not blocking, not judging, not ignoring, not suppressing, not bringing some external methods. Fully allowing that feeling, respect that feeling, and with the understanding of that beautiful monster is not me. It's just left over residue. It is part of my phenomena, and I'm experiencing that. It's wonderful. I'm able to experience everything. That means I'm alive. I should experience everything. There's a space. There's an acceptance. There's an acknowledgement. And things are changing. The change is part of the practice. You are not changing. It changed by itself. You are fully aware of that. And sometimes there's nothing. Quiet, relaxed, peaceful. Just aware of that. Be with that. Sometimes there's a lot of things, turbulence, uneasiness, old memories, uneasy sensations in the gross body. Just aware of everything and do nothing. Our job is to be aware and be with that. We are not like a fixing kind of thing. Allowing and aware of whatever happening and be kind. Within this kindness, there is a genuine open heart might happen. Sense of well-being, sense of okayness. Just aware of that. No big deal. I call this is our birthright to feel okay. And within that, some joyful happiness might experience. And this joyful happiness is unconditional. It happens because of openness. It's not because some external things. It is free from subject and object. It is a natural cause. I call that happiness happy without reason. Just happy, just okay. Within that, there's a heat of love might arise. The warmth of the heart, seed of compassion. Essence of beautiful monster is also love and openness. Just allow that to experience, to take place in your heart. Just practice mindful awareness with that and relax. Things are changing, moving, shifting, but awareness is not moving together with the thoughts and emotions. The awareness is just aware of thought and emotions and be with that. And being is the key. Just be with whatever arises. Arisings are impermanent, moving, but awareness and being is part of stillness. Stillness with the movement. The clarity, the awareness, the openness, and the being are not moving. They are part of stillness. But the feelings, thoughts, sensations, emotions are moving. The beauty of moving within the unmoving. But we are aware of everything. Stillness and movement. And keep practicing, keep practicing. We are not excluding anything. And eventually, the difficult misunderstanding about beautiful monster start to open up. All the restlessness thought start to settle down. All the tightness around your heart start to open up. All the cloudy, hazy mind start to become more clear. And our basic nature, human goodness, start to dawn, because we are not disturbing. And we nurture the natural part of the beauty of human existence internally. Eventually, the essence love grows into loving kindness and compassion. The glimpse of clarity eventually grows into a vipassana, clear mind, discerning mind, wisdom. And one day, with an open heart, with a clear mind, we can embrace anything. We can handle all the movements within the unmovement. And this is the dance between ultimate openness and the relative phenomena. I hope one day we can be a compassionate dancer between openness and with the moist of loving kindness, and when the skillful of clarity, that whatever happens in our being, we can transform ourselves, and definitely through that experience, we can transform others and the world. And I have a big wish that we can have world peace. Thank you.
Rinpoche, thank you for that very beautiful practice. Do you have any advice about how we can use some aspect of this or the whole practice in our daily lives?
I think very important is to aware or to understand relationship between mind and the body. And within the body, I usually call subtle body. And part of the subtle body has emotional, feelings. So, and then we keep, because sometimes we think everything is one lump, then it cannot help each other. So I divide it into three: the cognitive mind, and the body, gross and subtle body, and then there's a ego fixation. So if we can make a little bit like desolidify these three things. Oh, this is my mind, this is my body. Now the fixation comes. Okay, mind, help the fixation. Okay, let's fix. And then there's emotional blockage. Okay, this emotional blockage. Okay, never mind, let it open up. So talking to like three good friends and trying to come out some good, meaningful meetings. Because of the fixation, we become so serious, everything becomes one lump. And there's no communication. So immediately I call desolidified. Okay, three things. Immediately there's some space. As soon as you think there's the three different elements, it naturally grows some space between.
If we find ourselves in the grip of what you're calling a beautiful monster, feeling really unworthy, or shame, or anger, or sadness, anxiety, what can we do right then that can help us?
I think the best, if you can, stay in the middle of shame. Feel that feeling. Just stay inside for a while before giving any instruction to that. If you feel sad, anger, aware of the fully of anger, and stay in the anger. I call being. Being is not indulging. It's a little bit fine line. So you just be with that anger. We feel that shame, and stay in the shame. If we can do that, really 1 or 2 seconds, open up. When you open up, there's a little bit of shame there, but at the same time, there's also some space. And you're aware of the space more and more, and the shameness is become beautiful.
So that's applying it right on the spot.
If you can.
If you can.
If you cannot, then learn nearby. As Tara says, learn nearby. And then slowly walk with that. And then one day, when the beautiful monster start to open up and ready to listen your cognitive mind's advice, then you give some reason. Oh no, this is no need to feel shame. It's because of something happened in the past. You're carrying that emotion. Let it go. Then the beautiful monster might listen. But at the beginning, if you say too early without being together, there's no way to listen. You say, yes, I understand, but did not understand. Understand here, but not here. In order to understand here, you have to be together for a while without any judgment. Suffer together a little bit. Like if you feel sad, like sad a little bit together with that. Not like you are a big boss and telling you no need to be sad or suppress or ignore or apply some method. So all this is too much. Because it's already wounded. If there's no wounded, maybe you can say something, it might transform. But once it's wounded, I really understood the wounded mind or wounded beautiful monster is a different way of transforming, not with understanding. But at the end, we need some backup of understanding. Cognitive understanding has a stability at the end, but not too early. If you give too much too early, it becomes threatened, like a wrong big boss.
So the handshake is really being with, it's almost empathizing with the feeling, with the emotion, the raw emotion, before you start to explain why you feel that way. Or
yes, yeah, empathizing, not like I'm doing this because I'm empathizing to you. No, not like that. So it's like very honest. I'm willing to suffer with you. Like there's no cheating. There's no like high class way of saying like, oh yeah, I'm empathized. Yes, so sorry. Not like that. I'm really like, okay, I'm in the shit. Sorry, you are shit. I'm also shit. So never mind. Like that kind of like really like a, I don't know, honoring or really not like smart kind of honoring. Yeah, like that. Oh, not like that. Just I'm really like that. Okay, then it opens. Transparent, honesty, truthful, and willing to experience together. And if I'm not get out, never mind. I'm willing to stay with you forever and suffer. Also okay. Like almost like that kind of. Then there's the end.
that's very helpful. Thank you, Rinpoche.
But we need some guts. Need some guts. Really, really, whatever beautiful monster has openness, space inside, and we have to allow to open up. It's the only way of open up, be with that. Otherwise, we are manipulating. 4 things manipulate: suppress, indulging, and run away. And oh, you are not okay, I'm going to fix you. These 4 things will not help at the beginning. One day, the beautiful monster will say, can you share me some of your knowledge? can you tell me what is this blockage? I'm ready to listen. Then you say, my dear, in fact, you are not like that. But do you hear anything about delusion? It's a little bit like that. But we all have delusion, so it's okay. Then you're carrying your leftover residue. That's why you're holding on emotion. But it's not you. There's no fixation. And then the beautiful monster said, that sounds good. Then emotionally understand what cognitive saying. Otherwise, cognitive is saying and cognitive is understanding, and teaching by cognitive, understanding by cognitive, the feeling will not get at all. So when the feeling feels, oh, I'm okay. Oh, feeling feels emotionally, oh yeah, in the different way of understanding. That is the beginning of transforming. Until that, all here. This we are very good. So,
Rinpoche, we've had many discussions about science over the years.
oh, many.
And I know you
Many.
spoke with...
Every year I come to see Danny and Tara and some other also students. So keep learning about new things.
And I'm
science.
always, I've been impressed at how you've brought that into your teaching in one way or another, but in a very distinct way. And the emotional patterns you discussed with Tara Bennett Goldman, my wife, I think have emerged as beautiful monsters.
Oh, and, yes. Many things. I learned many things from Tara. At the beginning, we were disagree, and slowly, I think I agreed. Because I have this tendency of, giving a solution to the beautiful monster. This kind of remedy.
Yeah.
And then I talked to her. She said, "Yeah, actually, in the real point of view, yes, but the emotional point of view is not like that. You have something else. You have to listen. You have to be blah 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 blah." And then I thought, no, why you have to listen? Everything is illusion. You just tell them to do it, and then they will do it. No, it's not like that. It's not easy. Then slowly, then really, then I see people, myself, some blockage I have. I've been telling, like in my case, centuries past Tsoknyi Rinpoche also telling, this one also telling, but still not transform because they're scared of Dharma. They hide somewhere there. And then I said, oh, something here. Very smelly. And I'm happy to smell. And then beautiful monks are also happy. Oh, you understood now, finally. You understood my suffering now. Yes, then compassion arises. So many things, really.
Yeah. And that's very different from the traditional method. The traditional method is more purely cognitive and ignoring the emotion, the feeling.
Not exactly, but less methods.
Less, yeah, maybe less.
Yeah, because I think time is different. All time, human does not have so much complexity in the emotional world. More like, simple life. So the mind, if mind has strong conviction, strong understanding in the cognitive, it naturally transmits into the feeling, I think. And feeling also transforms. But the modern life has a disconnected between the mind and the feeling world. So the first thing my job is to make connection. And one of the handshake practice is also making connection. Being is making connection. And then you transmit. So this connection lost in the West because we too much thinking, walking from hope and fear, everything here. And this one, like, who cares? But the old time, life is more balanced. I'm not saying perfect, but somewhere is more balanced, somewhere is not balanced, but subtle body is more balanced all time. Cognitive, I think, more smart now, but the feeling world somewhere is more balanced. I think I still can see, like in Nepal, the mountain people have very open heart and a kind of beautiful heart, but the cognitive is not working so well because didn't learn so much. But the city have a lot of like facts and figures, everything, but a little tight. So my job is to make, connection, open heart, and the functional clarity mind together. I usually call, like a beautiful Nepali heart and the good analyzed kind of German mind come together. And then why not as a one person?
Beautiful.
I call practice base camp. Tomorrow morning you're going to climb Mount Everest, but not today. So you stay in the base camp. The base camp is part of the Mount Everest. And tomorrow you climb again. So there's a base camp kind of practice. So you can practice body sensation. Don't go into the emotion. Just aware of your body. Stay nearby. Or practice a little bit of compassion. Breathing, shamatha with object. So some kind of practice, go nearby and then knock the door of the blockage of emotion. Can I come? And you feel, oh no. You stay nearby the door area, the lounge area. Don't go into the room. And time to time, trying to open the door and go in. And if you do that, slowly you can get in. There's many other practice, but don't give up. All other practice is the basis, is the foundation that I will go see my beautiful monster sooner or later. And these other practices are not antidote for that. That's the problem. The problem of shamatha, if I practice shamatha and my mind is become very clear, concentration on something, then I will handle my beautiful monster. If you have that attitude and that shamatha practice is become antidote. And then beautiful monster is very smart. It knows already you are doing that today. And tomorrow that hammer is going to hit on me. So this practitioner is building the hammer of shamatha that tomorrow going to hammer on me. So then the beautiful monster will hide and then pretend I have no problem, but problem is here. I'm okay, but not okay here. Then you build okayness, top, okayness, but the smell is down there. And then shaking from down, smell comes up. But I'm okay, shamatha fine. Vivashana, okay. Compassion, vajrasattva, but still smelly. So I rather go to the smelly part. But it's too difficult to go. Slowly go, make small hole there, small, then go. Slowly you have the handshake with the beautiful monster, no matter what. You're not giving something to it, but you have to find the beautiful monster's hand and your awareness hand together and then meet. It's called meeting, being, and open up. And slowly this tightness will open up. And then you talk, okay, then become friend. I don't know what I learned, but it has a big impact on my practice and to my friends and students. So it's a plant big seed on my journey to to practice and to study and to teaching. And it's a plant seed of the complexity of human emotions plays a very important role. In Buddhist, we talk emotions, but mainly we talk this our head, intelligent mind. Everything is mind, 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 mind. But mind includes feelings, emotions also, but mainly is the mind, giant mind. We talk so good, but the subtlety of the blockages, beautiful stuff in the emotional world is not so clearly talked about. So now I'm more aware of those things and keep learning. I'm very happy to learn every step, everything about anything. It gives my life, otherwise so boring. Hmm. I think we should have first okayness. Okayness is a little different from happiness, but even you have some difficulty, you can be okay, but you are not happy. So, but many people link together with okayness and happiness. Happiness is kind of manifestation, and okayness is a basic, fundamental thing. So we lost that okayness because you want to be happy, and you're not happy with the okayness. You want to be happy with some external things, something different than the basic okayness. And then we caught up with that, and then we don't feel happy because nothing happening externally, but they're still okay there. So my point is to come back to that okayness. The okayness is more like open. Even you feel sad, I'm okay to feel sad. I'm happy, I'm okay to be happy. I have a beautiful monster, I'm okay with a beautiful monster. Or there's no beautiful monster, I'm okay with a beautiful monster. There's some kind of okay. And that okayness is, I call, connected with the basic well-being. And when you have these two things together, then there is a special feeling comes. It's called essence love. Wow. Then you're just ready to love to everyone. But why you're loving, there's no reason. You're loving to whom? There's no object. It's just a ball of love. It's a ball of light. Shining to who? No? Shine everyone. If nothing there, I still shine. If something there, I will shine. If nothing there, I will shine. So this unconditional shining, unconditional want to love. It's not, oh, I love you because of this. No, none of that. That is subject and object. That is I call conditional love. But it's just shine, just love. Very fine, feel okayness, feel kind of open, ready to love. And that is called, I call a seed of bodhicitta or seed of compassion. And when you have that, and that is opposite of hollow. Hollow. And we have big problem about hollow because we misinterpret okayness, misunderstand with happiness with the object. We misunderstood with basic well-being with some other conditions. We misunderstood love means something giving and taking. So all intrinsic nature, love, well-being, okayness, we didn't put so much value in it. We put value more like product kind of love, product kind of happiness, product kind of well-being. And we lost our juice inside. We want juice from like toothpaste from outside. Keep pressing. And one day, empty toothpaste, no more to squeeze. And every external is changeable, unreliable. But we can dance with that. We understand with that. We accept with that. We live with that beautiful, changing, magical world. Why not? But at the same time, we have to have some organic, gluten-free love. Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.